So what should we call this tag? Perfect palettes?
Yeah.
Hi everyone, welcome back. It's Melissa and Kate, and we're here today to do a reboot on a tag that we created almost 2.5 years, almost 3 years ago.
Almost 3.
So some of you may have heard of it. It was the Perfect Palette tag. I was stunned at how many people did that tag. Stunned and thrilled how many people did that tag, and so excited. It was really new to YouTube at that time, and I was like, yes, this is so much fun.
Yeah.
And recently I've been getting so many comments and
Requests.
questions and requests to either redo or update my Perfect Palette tag, so we thought we'd create kind of a newer version of this one. So,
And if you're on the Snapchat fam for this channel, then you already knew that we were filming a surprise video. So this is the surprise video.
the surprise video. So we have a whole new set of questions. I'm also going to include a link to the original video in case you haven't seen the original version. You can go ahead and check that out. And we're just going to get started. The first question is...
So the very first question is eyeliner, brush, or nothing in the palette. We all know what we're talking about.
Right. So a lot of palettes either come with a brush, an eyeliner, or they're just the palette. So this is just kind of a warm-up question.
Yeah.
And which do you prefer?
Nothing. Honestly, I'd rather just have the palette because I feel like when they add extra things in, it makes the packaging bulkier, and then like you use it or like you misplace it, and then it's like an empty hole.
I would prefer nothing as well, although if I had to pick between a brush and an eyeliner, I would probably pick the eyeliner, because I usually feel the brushes are pretty much a throwaway. So the next question is a palette where you've hit pan on one of the colors. I own a lot of palettes, so the mere fact that I have hit pan on a color in one of my palettes is pretty freaking amazing. And it is from this Laura Mercier artist palette, I think from 2013. And the shade is here. It's African Violet, which is so, so gorgeous.
Oh, it is. I'm sorry.
She thought I was wrong. African Violet, which is sold in a single, and I think it's one of her most popular shadow colors. There's a reason why I hit pan, because it's gorgeous.
The palette that I've hit pan on one of the shadows is the Too Faced Natural Eye palette. This actually, my mom has like the current version. This is the older packaging. It's like
The cardboard.
it's not okay. The newer packaging I think is like metal, and the colors are not the same in this one that they are in this one, but it's okay. It's fine. You get the gist, because this color that I've hit pan on is in that palette at the current moment, and it is Silk Teddy, which is right there. And I use this color all the time. All the time.
And what is it that you like so much about that color?
The fact that you can put a white base underneath it and layer this on top, and it looks like a completely different color than what it is in this pan. So it's very versatile, and I just like, I don't know. It's kind of like Urban Decay Sin. Like I feel like it's on like a similar like color range as that, but this is lighter, and I just like it. I don't know. So the next question is your favorite naked palette. So drugstore or high-end, whichever one you own that is considered a naked palette. And mine is the Naked 3, which is funny because I think I have all of the naked palettes right now in my possession.
Pretty much.
I'm actually, this is my mom's, but I've been borrowing it, and I'm going to purchase it probably today or tomorrow. But it just, these colors, I just can't. They're just so beautiful, and I used it today, and it's just my favorite. I just love it.
Yeah. So we do, between the two of us, have all of the Urban Decay nakeds. I don't think I have any really, any drugstore naked palettes.
None of them have tickled my fancy.
No, me neither. And I think I had the original. I passed it off to you. It was too warm for me.
Yeah.
And I really like the Naked too, but actually the one I really like the best is the new Naked Smoky palette. And I did put that on today.
That's so funny that we both used our nakeds.
And what I love about this palette is it is just a nice assortment of mattes, a nice assortment of shimmers. There's some warmer ones, there's some cooler ones, and there's a nice balance between dark and light. I just really, really love this palette. I think they did a brilliant job on it.
I'm not super into like the heavy smoky eyes, but my mom is, so.
Well, so I'm wearing it today. I don't think it looks too smoky, too heavy. I
No,
could wear
but
this to work.
I'm the same girl who wears bronzer as eyeshadow.
Yes, you are. So the next question is your favorite holiday or limited edition palette. And I really went back into the palette archives and I picked out the Aqua Lilies for Tarte. This is one of my all-time favorite palettes. From the packaging is so gorgeous. That it's a complete face is just really suits me. And the color range is they're just beautiful colors, and they're neutral, but you do also have this little pop of color. I just really love this palette.
Okay, so my holiday / limited edition, this is limited edition, is one that I have loved for a long time, and it's the Urban Decay Alice in Wonderland palette. And this, I think, was my favorite packaging on the first one, but it just is, it's intense with the packaging. But more importantly, the colors that are in here are really pretty, and I put pan on this one, which is Sin, but I just love this.
Is that one of the first palettes you ever bought?
This is my first high-end palette I ever purchased, and I'm still in love with it to this day. So the next one is, which palette would you repurchase / have as a backup if it's no longer available? So I feel like I'm so predictable on this, but I would definitely repurchase the Naked 2, for sure. This palette, yep, it's broken. Forgot.
Oh.
I traveled with this last year around this time, and
it
I broke
happened to
it.
a lot of people where the pans start falling out.
Yep, but this is one of the prettiest palettes I've ever used. But the one color that my cousin and I both are obsessed with is YDK. And actually, when I did her graduation makeup, but I used YDK on hers, and I actually had to go and get my palette, this one, because hers was completely like hit pan, like there was nothing left in there.
Scraping those corners. That's so sad when that happens.
This is like my definite repurchase that I would buy again.
The one I would repurchase, if I could, would be this really great holiday palette from last year from Bare Minerals. I just love so much about this palette. From the packaging, because it's nice and slim, and I think it has a really beautiful assortment of shadows, and it has a beautiful assortment of blushes and a little bronzer and a little highlight, some little ideas there, so they're always with you. I really love this palette and kind of wish I had a backup of it.
You're so predictable.
I know, well, so are you. So the next question is an eyeshadow that is in a palette that you wish was sold individually because you really love it so much that you wish you could have it in an individual pan. And for me, it's from the Japanesque Pixelated eyeshadow palette, and it's this brown, which could quite possibly be one of the best browns in the world. I just think it's perfection. And I've looked, I don't see that they sell it. Of course, how would I know? Because there are no names on this palette, but that's what I would buy as a single.
The eyeshadow that I would buy, or wish that was sold as a single, is actually one that every single time I go into like Sephora or Ulta, I always look just to make sure they didn't like release it and not tell anybody. I have very high hopes that this will be released as a single, but it never will probably. But it's the Naked 2 from the Naked Basics palette. I just love this color. It's just great. I just can't get over it. Just perfect. And I just have like a mighty strange addiction to it. Actually, you wanted something really sad? This is actually my mom's because I hit pan on 4 shadows. So the next question is a wild card question, and it's to pick the question from the first tag that you want to re-answer. So mine was number 8 from the first tag, and it's your most used, most loved desert island favorite. People had a lot of issues with this question because they thought that they were 3 separate questions, but it's not. It's your favorite, all-time favorite. So my all-time favorite is the Naked Basics, the original one. It's just, it's my small child. I don't know what to say. It's true, is it not? I travel with this all the time.
Considering you've used up almost an entire one, your first one, and now we're on your second, I think that says something.
Yeah, I really have an obsession with this. I don't leave, like when we travel, I don't leave without it. I have to have it.
Have to have it.
Yep.
So the question I chose from the original Perfect Palette Tag was the one, your biggest regret, a purchase that you regret making the most. And I chose something that I picked up recently, and I know it's going to be kind of controversial. Oh, she's looking at me. And it is this Visart palette. This is the Bridal Satin palette. There's nothing wrong with it. I like it, but for the money and all the hype, I don't think it's all that in a bag of chips, frankly. I think, it's a beautiful palette. The formula is lovely. Do I think it's better than other eyeshadow formulas I've used? No. For the money, I don't think that it's worth it. So it doesn't mean that I don't like it. I just regret spending the money on it because I think there are other palettes that are equal and just as nice as this out there.
So we're down to the last question, and this one is the palette that you would recommend to your friend or a friend. And I think that this is really funny because is that the one that you're doing that we picked along the same lines of it? So my friend who I'm picking this for is very much into the cool tones of everything. So I think that the Lorac Pro 2 would be the palette that I would recommend to her because I love it, but it's just so pretty.
My choice would be the original Lorac Pro. I think this is one of the best palettes out there for so many reasons. A great assortment of colors, equal matte, equal shimmer, lights and darks, and this doesn't really read terribly warm or terribly cool. It's really a good kind of basic neutral palette. So shout out to the Lorac family.
Yes.
And quite frankly, I think that these shadows are just as good as these. So I hope you enjoyed this reboot of the Perfect Palette Tag and that you will do it. And if you do it, please send me a link to it so that I can watch it. I watched so many of the original Perfect Palette Tags from people I didn't know and just really enjoyed seeing what other people had chosen as their favorites and kind of what was in other people's collections. So I hope you all do that again. Feel free to tag people that you would like to have do it. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you real soon in our next video.